Hello. Hi everybody, how are you doing? Today we are looking at Navatsuraku Music 66 and we have moved into 2007, which I make 13 years ago now. Not that long at all really. And it's a good 24 years after the first now, or 23 and a bit. So yeah, pretty much 2/3 of the way through. We kick this one off with another one, like the previous volume, that is pretty sort of camp, really, but that's not an insult, it's just a description. I think even Mika would be happy to describe this as camp, with a name like Grace Kelly, following on from the Scissor Sisters last time, and it's definitely in their paradigm. It's almost a bit 70s-ish, a bit glammy. It is monstrously catchy. You will find yourself singing it, even probably just from watching this video and hearing it in the background. It'll probably be going round and round your head for the next 24 hours, which is always a hallmark of a great pop single. It's a song about songs, a meta song as I call them. It's all about the things that he was asked to do to be famous, and all this advice that he was given: do this, do that, be like Grace Kelly, etc, etc. So yeah, hello Mika. Mika. I think he's half Lebanese, half English, or he's got the Lebanese in him. So a pretty exotic and interesting start to the album, really. Good stuff. And it's followed by one of my favourites. Okay, not quite as exotic as Lebanon. It's Leeds, where I live. And it's Kaiser Chiefs and Ruby. But yeah, this is a great song, one of their best. Really anthemic, really catchy, kind of mid-paced, just perfect pop really, power pop I guess you'd call it. Kind of indie, but it's on the pop side of indie. But they're just a great band who do great songs. Yeah, really can't go wrong with it. It's an anthem, it's Ruby. So a good strong start here. Now, track 3, unfortunately, is a bit of an abomination. Commonly acknowledged as such, even by people who like the bands. It's for charity, so we have to kind of be a bit lenient. It's Walk This Way by Sugababes versus Girls Aloud, which is an awful lot of women. The song was originally, in fact, it was originally done by Aerosmith way back in the 70s. In terms of Now history, the Run DMC and Aerosmith one made Now 8, and in fact it was standout tune in that album. But Oh How a Mighty Song Has Fallen, because Sugababes, believe it or not, are not Aerosmith, and Guns Aloud are not Run DMC. Now, the thing about that song is it's a real culture clash song. It's where rock and rap meet. The trouble with Sugababes and Girls Aloud is that they're identical, more or less. They're interchangeable. Girl pop. So it's girl pop with a bit more girl pop. And the song itself is just not a girl pop song, I'm afraid. Doesn't translate. It's really awful. It's kind of hen night music, I suppose. So, sorry guys, or girls, but walk the other way, I'm afraid. Now, Take That. Although it's been a long while since they've been away, it's not been very long since Robbie's been releasing stuff. It was done just the last album, and almost as soon as Take That stopped, Robbie just carried on. Mark Owen did the one song. The other guys remained very off the radar in the intervening period. So Robbie's kind of gone quiet again for now. He might be back later. We'll see. But for now, it's Take That, back in the beginning of side 1. And it's Patience. And it's a pretty good comeback, actually. I guess they're more of a man band than a boy band by this point. And because they've been a boy band, I've tended to brush them aside. But I think with this new reinvigorated Take That, I owe it to them to actually be a bit more, interested in what they're doing. And as such, Patience is a pretty good song. Yeah, not bad at all. That's followed by Justin Timberlake, What Goes Around Comes Around. It's like Cry Me a River's coming round again, but not as good. I'm not really feeling the beats on it. It's all a bit tired and a bit 2003. And these plastic R&B drum machine beats, they're pretty shit generally. Why use a drum machine? What's the reason for it? I use them. I'm sure, loads of stuff I like uses them. If you've got an electronica kind of aesthetic, then yeah, drum machines are cool. And, you had the kind of Marvin Gaye sexual healing paradigm, which is all built on drum machines in R&B. So they can be good, but they can be naff. I think it's just when they interfere with the song and they're too kind of thudding and kind of cardboardy. So that applies to the next couple of songs. Not only Justin Timberlake, What Goes Around Comes Around, not even got a very good melody either. And also to Nelly Furtado, Say It Right, which at least has a good melody. As I've said before, I'm really not a big fan of her voice. I find it incredibly whiny. With good songs, it's okay. And this one is actually a vaguely good song. So it's a kind of 6 out of 10. It's passable, but the beats, again, are really plasticky and just annoying. Okay, Beyonce, Irreplaceable. The beats aren't too bad. They blend in a bit more. They're not as kind of stark. The song itself is a bit lacking. Obviously, she's got a great voice, but it's a bit meh. Now, here's one that gets it right. And as you know, if you've seen all of these, I've not liked everything she's done. I have really liked some of them. It's Kellis featuring CeeLo and Lil Star. These are good drums. These aren't kind of annoying. They're not plastic. They're just more organic sounding. They fit in much better with the song. This is how R&B drums should be. So yeah, it's a lovely song, this actually. I'd say it's probably my favourite Kellis song. Yet again, I have to just vaguely mention that CeeLo's a bit of a tainted character through his actions in his personal life, which is a real shame. It's a shame for the parties involved, and it's a shame for his musical legacy, because I loved his voice, and I guess I still do, but it is harder to listen to. But yeah, this is a great duet, and it's really uplifting and really positive, and yeah, I would be tempted to say it's one of the best songs on the album. It's very, very sad with the CeeLo stuff. Kellis does a great job on this. Yeah, you don't have to be crass to be good. This isn't remotely crass. It's great. So good stuff. Okay, maybe a bit more crass, but not too bad. Smack That. Akon featuring Eminem. Quite surprisingly, actually, it's only Eminem's second appearance on one of these. It's really... clearly they got licensing to Without Me, so I don't quite know why they sort of skimped on the Eminem stuff. Maybe a bit risque. Smack That, yeah. Is it about corporal punishment? Akon, he's not that bad. Again, it's Lonely really kind of tainted his musical reputation. But Smack That's pretty cool, actually. It's maybe not Eminem at his best. It's a bit of a kind of formulaic guest rhyme. But Eminem doing formulaic still better than half the rappers out there on their best game. Just Jack, Stars in Their Eyes. Not too bad. It's a bit Mockney, which is one of the byproducts of Lily Allen. It opened the doors for all sorts of Mockney shite. It's not too bad, but it's very 2007. It was acceptable in 2007. Now, what was acceptable in the 80s then? All sorts. Kajagoogoo, A Flock of Seagulls, Level 42, Amazulu. You know what I'm talking about. Calvin Harris and his debut on one of these with Acceptable in the 80s, which is very much a homage to that golden, illustrious decade. I'm sure he's been listening to a few of the nows, and he's put it all through the mangle, and he's come up with something which, yeah, pretty much does sound like it could have been done in the 80s, to be honest. In terms of the drums, they sound very Prince-like. I'm sure he sampled bits of Prince, or recreated it. Bit sort of Shack Attack or something, really. It's a bit kind of one-dimensional in a way. But it is a good song. And the funny thing is, this one's actually probably more relevant now than even when it came out. The 80s revival's kind of really gone mega. So, yeah, it's quirky, it's self-aware, it's got a good song, it's well produced. His voice is a bit kind of irritating, but a lot of 80s vocals are irritating in the same kind of way. So yeah, it kind of does what it says on the tin, really. Okay, another good one now, actually. Perfect Exceeder by Mason and Princess Superstar. Remember that Bad Baby Sister? I didn't really like that. I said it was a bit obnoxious. She's still a bit obnoxious, but I think the music, which is basically Mason's Exceeder, really kind of works way better with it. It follows on maybe a bit from Body Rocks and Luciana, but she's not as bad as Luciana. So yeah, it's a pretty good one. Okay, we now say hello to Booty Love, and it says here Bookie Tonight, which has got to be a misprint. Boogie Tonight, unless it's all about their secret gambling habit and they had to nip down to William Hill's for some late betting. It's not Bookie Tonight, it's Boogie Tonight. First time we've had boogieing in music for about 30 years. So yeah, it's very pop, it's very kind of slick, but it is a good song. They can sing well, and it was always very, very popular on the dance floors at this time. I was DJing a lot in Hastings in 2007, and that song would always pack a dance floor, so good stuff. Right, okay, controversial time now. Mashup time again. What do you think of this then? This is Eric Prydz, our old friend, who did Call on Me, which was based on Valerie by Stevie Winwood. Here he is with Pink Floyd and Proper Education. Wow. So Pink Floyd themselves have never really made one of these. I think we've had, were they sampled? Oh no, it was Comfortably Numb, wasn't it? Yeah, the Scissor Sisters. So they're having a bit of a revival. Their music is popular as ever throughout the noughties and to this day. If anything, another brick in the wall was the nearest Pink Floyd got to disco, if you can call it disco. I knew someone who claims he sang in the choir on that. I know for a fact he went to the school that did it. I think it was Islington Green. And he would have been about 5 when they did it. So it is possible he sang on that. Oi, teacher! Yeah, it's one of the classics of pop and of rock. This cut up, it doesn't really do that much to it. It just speeds it up a bit. But there's quite long patches where they've just left the original, really. And a bit of kind of club electro house bass line. It could have gone horribly wrong, and it didn't. And for that, I think credit is due. In some ways, I think there's more to it than Call on Me. It's more brave, and I think it's pretty good actually. Obviously, I love the original, and I think you're always going to go back to that. But I wouldn't say this has massacred it at all. I think it's quite respectful. So good stuff, Mr. Prydz. And it also shows that you don't need just to sell a record with scantily clad videos. Kids riding around on a bike and stuff is just as interesting. It's a story video, if you like. It's more narrative. So yeah, good stuff. Okay, now here's another real weird throwback. Sharam, Pat, P-A-T-T, Party All the Time, which, believe it or not, if you don't know who originally sang that, you'll go crazy when I tell you. It was Eddie Murphy. It's acceptable 80s filter house. Is it still acceptable in the noughties? Well, it was never one of the best songs of the 80s. So, when you're dealing with mediocre, I love Eddie Murphy's movies, Trading Places and Coming to America and Beverly Hills Cop. He was never really renowned as a singer, but it's not too bad. Okay, another cover, this time a 90s cover. It was originally done by Savage Garden, and it's Cascada, Truly Madly Deeply. They put their kind of rather ham-fisted wedding disco Eurobeat, sledgehammer sense of music to it. And it's okay for what was a drippy love song. It's kind of, you'll dance around after a few beers like all their stuff. Right, and another abomination of a cover now. Girls Aloud, they've really gone utter shit. They were never great, but now that they're just as bad as everyone else. I always used to say they're a bit above average. I think We're Alone now is a cover of a cover. And it's just pointless. It only exists to get them more publicity. Contrast to another, there's an awful lot in this stretch. Last night, a DJ saved my life. Seamus Haji and KJ, which was an old song by In Deep, and it's a pretty respectable mashup of it. It's kind of like all the others, really, but it's definitely electro house writ large. Now, here's one I really like. I once did a mix of haunted house songs, and I put this on it. Ghost songs and stuff. I should have put that one by, was it A-Star, All Stars, Things That Go Bump in the Night? That one missed out. The Creeps by Camille Jones and Fedde Legrand, who's back off the Put Your Hands Up for Detroit. This one is, it's weird. It was never very popular when you'd play it on the dance floor. It'd always clear the dance floor. It's kind of weird. It's a bit too adventurous, really, for what it is. People just expecting something dumb like Cascada, and this comes along and it's actually a bit weird and a bit strange sort of body movements in the video. She's quite a character, really, if that's her. Interesting, but I like it. It's very quirky, it's kind of robotic but funky. It's a weird one. So it's The Creeps. I think it's even better than Put Your Hands Up for Detroit. But Fedde Legrand's best moments still to come. Beware of the Dog. That's Jamelia. Now, after Rihanna did SOS, which was based on Tainted Love, Jamelia sniffs the idea of a successful record, and she sniffs out the behind, if you like, talking of dogs, of Depeche Mode. But it is a pile of doggy do, really. It's personal Jesus. And it's okay. I like the fact she's tried to build a kind of rock song around that, but it just feels a bit like another one that's conceptual. Everyone else is doing old 80s songs, why don't I try? And it's not too bad. It just feels very contrived, like she probably doesn't even like Depeche Mode. Right, Gwen Stefani yodeling. There's a concept. What do you think of that then? Wind It Up. It's another of her random songs with weird sort of sound of music stuff going on it. Interesting, if not good. JoJo's the one who's about 5. Too little, too late. Just too much, too young. Not interested. And as I've said before, I'll listen to kids' music on a musical level. If they're good, they're good. But she's mediocre, quite frankly. Leona Lewis makes her debut with A Moment Like This. It is a big ballad. It comes from Murder TV. She's obviously got a good set of vocal cords. Seems like a nice person. But it's really Total Eclipse of the Heart, Mark II. You might as well just go back to Bonnie Tyler on Now One. Okay, we've got the Fray next, and How to Save a Life, which is pretty good kind of indie or... 2007 indie. I'll lump that one together with The View, Same Jeans, because that's also a good song. And in fact, there's loads of really good ones now on the trot. I'm not going to get a chance to play a lot of them. I'm going to play bits of them. Here is Standing in the Way of Control by Gossip. And I don't know much about them, but I know this is a cracker of a song. It's kind of indie, but it's got a kind of disco beat. A bit like The Automatic and Monster, that kind of groove. Really, really good vocals on it. And it's a very good kind of, very good lyric, very assertive. Yeah, this is one of the best on the album. Standing in the Way of Control. But no sooner have I started this, there's another one I want to play. It's the best song she's ever done, apart from maybe the very first one she did. Let's get lined up. So, she started off her musical career as a band called The Audience, was part of a band called The Audience back in the 90s. Then she teamed up with Spiller for the amazing Groove Jet. Then she had a big long run of hits in her own right, including Murder on the Dance Floor. You know who I'm talking about? Sophie Ellis-Bextor. Now here, she teams up with Kathy Dennis, who I've talked about repeatedly as one of the best songwriters. This song is, I think I'll probably say it is my best on the album, although we've not gone through them all yet, so something else might beat it. I love this song for so many reasons, one of them being that I sang a version of it. When you've sang a song yourself, you always kind of connect with it. It's a great song to sing, great melody. It really does sound like someone chasing someone in the way of the vocals. Like running up and down a hill. So it's one of those songs where the music and the melody and the lyrics all just really chill. It's a really, really good, strong production. And what I really like about it is that it's a totally different sound for Sophie. After loads of songs that were sounding almost exactly the same in that kind of very smooth house style, this is a lot more rocking and kind of new wavy with a kind of electronica edge. So really, really good song. And a really good comeback for Sophie. Okay, we follow this one with... Is it another one I've got to play? Yes, it is. I told you there was a lot around here. It's the first appearance for Klaxons. And these guys, amazing. I nearly said they were fucking great. And, yep, Golden Scans. So it's another in that kind of 2006, 2007 indie paradigm. Yeah, really good stuff. Come on, get going video. There we go. Kind of a bit retro-y in terms of sound, but it's just a great song. It's really catchy, really good band, really good groove. I'm not really sure what scans are. If anyone can tell me, SKANS. I know what golden skins are, or silver skins. Anyway, yeah, good stuff. What a good run. And it doesn't stop here. Fall Out Boy. This ain't a scene, it's the goddamn arms race. That's one of my favourites by them. I really like it. Another one, it's just so catchy. Read My Mind by The Killers, that's possibly their best song. So what a great section this has been, really. Followed up by U2 and Window in the Skies. Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, U2, even it's another case where even when U2 are mediocre, they're still good. They've only had a few real stinkers. Discotheque, I think, is probably my worst U2 song. Okay, Robbie's back again. Take that, we're back earlier. Robbie's back now with the Pet Shop Boys. Been an awful long time since they've been one of these. And it's She's Madonna. Now, it's a song about leaving your girlfriend because Madonna called. And it's not the first song I've heard that's about dating Madonna. And the Pet Shop Boys are often accused of getting a lot of their ideas from Sparks. Well, Sparks did a song called Madonna years ago, back in the 80s, about going out with Madonna. So one does wonder if the Pet Shop Boys, or even Robbie himself, have heard that and have decided to carry on with the idea. It's not too bad, but quite frankly, Robbie does better records on his own than with the Pet Shop Boys. They've not really added a lot, other than giving him a bit of a kind of electronic sheen. Fratelli's are back with Whistle for the Choir. It's less brash than Chelsea Dagger. It's quite heartfelt, actually. I like it. Ordinary Boys are back with I Love You. That's way better than their last one, with the one with thingy Lady Sovereign on it. It's quite slow. It's quite daring to call a song I Love You, because it's so kind of basic and simple that, you know, you're really kind of laying your heart on your sleeve there with no room for kind of covering it up under metaphor or anything. But it works quite well, actually. Yeah, quite like it. Okay, a couple of bands who always get lumped together. That's Snow Patrol with Open Your Eyes and Raise the Light Before I Fall to Pieces. Both strong songs. Good stuff indeed. Now, Sister Sisters. I said before that I think maybe I Don't Feel Like Dancing might be their best song, but actually I think this one just tips it. This is a great song. Yeah, I think probably I Don't Feel Like Dancing was a bigger hit, but I think in terms of pure music, this is the best song the Sister Sisters did. She's My Man. And it's another one a bit like Filthy Gorgeous, where they really know how to kind of get things that contradict kind of opposites. She's My Man. And make something that's a bit ambiguous, a bit kind of, what's the word? I forgot the word, I'll come back to it. Not amorphous, androgynous, that's it. Kind of camp, but not out and out gay. It's just playful, really. It's definitely another one from the Elton John playbook, but I'm never complaining. They really do, they get the spirit of Elton, but they add it to other stuff as well. It's not just Elton, there's all sorts in there. A bit of Bee Gees, definitely a bit of ABBA, Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons, loads of 70s stuff, maybe even some Leo Sayer. Yeah, this is a great song. You have to listen to their stuff a few times before it really makes sense. Always sounds a bit jumbled at first, and then it just kind of unlocks. So very complicated, very good music. Yeah, really good. Okay, Love It When You Call, More From The Feeling, another good song. Yet again, as all their stuff, very feeling sound, a little bit twee. I say that every time. I'll say it, I won't say it if they're not. Okay, McFly, Sorry's Not Good Enough. They're kind of gone a bit downhill from their high point, but it's not too bad. Lily Allen, we don't talk about her. Alfie, we just pass over that. Jamie T, Calm Down Dearest. He's like a male Lily Allen, really. It's that Mockney stuff. Can't stand it. Sugababes, Easy. Oh God, more Sugababes. We've already had them with Girls Aloud. Nothing to say about that. Okay, it's my old friend Amy Winehouse. You Know I'm No Good. Self-loathing again. Listen, guys, I'm going to say something between me and you, alright? And I hate to break this to you, but I've got to say this, alright? We're all friends. Honesty. Her voice is not all that. Honestly. Seriously, guys. I'm sorry if you like her. I don't mean to rain on your parade. She's not all that. Her music's mediocre, and her voice is distinctly average. Gabrielle's got a good voice. Had Gabrielle sang You Know I'm No Good, I would have probably made it song of the album. Unfortunately, Amy Winehouse is not a very good singer. There, I said it. She's not quite as bad as Brian Potter and Andy Pipkin, though. Very weird. The Proclaimers, I'm going to be 500 miles. 2 wheelchair-bound fictional comic characters, Peter Kay and, I nearly said George Dawes, Matt Lucas, respectively. It's a comic relief one. They deliberately sing it badly over the Proclaimers thing. It's pretty painful to listen to be honest. Quite frankly, I'd rather just buy the Proclaimers one and donate to a charity rather than have to listen to that racket. So it's been a really good album actually, this one. There have been a few stinkers. If we go through them though, what's still a classic? Yep, Grace Kelly, Mika, total one hit. Well, I hit a couple of hits, but a very sort of instantly recognisable song, even if it drives you mad. It is a great pop song. Ruby by Kaiser Chiefs, one of their best moments. Walk This Way's an abysmal cover. Patience is a good comeback for Take That. Certainly one that makes me reappraise them as a genuine band now. I think Lil Star by Kellis is the best thing she did. Smack That by Akon's okay. Acceptable in the 80s, Calvin Harris, yup. Mason Princess Superstar, Perfect Exceeders, good mashup. Boogie Tonight, or even Bookie Tonight's pretty cool. Booty Love. Proper Education's good mashup. Then there's a run of Mare covers. The Creeps is maybe a bit forgotten, but it's a good song. Wind It Up by Gwen's kind of comical. Right, some good indie. Gossip, Standing in the Way of Control. Sophie, Catch You, Golden Scans, Klaxons, This Ain't a Scene, Fall Out Boy, Killers, Read My Mind. They're all brilliant songs. Fratelli's Whistle for the Choir's okay. Open Your Eyes, Before I Fall to Pieces are okay. Snow Patrol and Razorlight. That's a great song. She's My Man, Sister Sisters. Feeling, Love It When You Call's okay. And You Know I'm No Good. A lot of people do like it, but yeah, it's meh really, if we're going to be honest about it. Okay guys, I will see you next time for Now 67.